Hey everybody, this is Scott Hudspeth with Agent Mastermind. I'm so excited to be here with you guys, and I got a special guest on the call with us from all the way from California. Man, dude, I'm so sorry to get you up this early over there. I know, what are we talking, 9 o'clock over there on the West Coast?
Yes, it's 9 a.m. A little after 9.
Did you get some coffee this morning? Did you get some coffee any this morning before we get started?
No coffee, man. I'm not a coffee drinker, but a lot of water.
All right, a lot of water, man. There you go, there you go. So hey, I appreciate you being here today, and we got a bunch of people on to us. So let's get started. And so Rod, I know you're doing a lot of great things over in California. You haven't been in the business that long, and so why don't you tell people about you, who you are, where you're located, and then how you got in the business. We'll start off with that. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Well, I'm Rod Watson. I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. So I'm from Houston originally. I grew up there all of my life until I went off to college in '96 and came to beautiful, sunny San Diego. Went to college, played basketball in college, and was fortunate enough to go on and play a little while overseas for a few years. And, after doing that, I came back and coached in college and just realized that I wanted to own my own business, wanted to kind of control my own destiny, if you will, choosing how I wanted to spend my time. And I had a daughter when I was 28 with my wife, and when we first got married, a year after we were married. And so, that changed, my perspective on life a lot. And I decided that at that point, I didn't want to, have someone control how I was going to go about spending my time and living my life. So I decided to get into sales, was in sales for a few years, and then got into real estate back in 2008. And so ever since then, I came into the business. I started focusing on distressed sales, worked with, big banks like Bank of America. We had an account with them for about 3 years, and that was really well. That went really, really, really well, and learned a lot too. But, that's, I'm just a guy who decided, one day he just wanted to live his life differently.
Excellent, man. Excellent. So let's get into the nitty gritty. So Instagram. So I know that you and I connected through a mutual friend, Matt Johnson, and you've been using Instagram which is now owned by Facebook. I don't know if you all know this, but isn't it funny, Rod, that everybody was saying Mark Zuckerberg was just out of his mind paying $1 billion for Instagram, and here we are, 4 years later, and it's worth $30 billion. So pretty good investment there on his return.
Absolutely. Yeah, visionary, man.
Yeah, visionary. So tell us, for those people that don't have an Instagram account, I guess for starters, why should I get into Instagram, and how are you using it to help you generate buyer leads, seller leads? I don't even know what you're generating, so that's an open question. What are you doing with Instagram to grow your business?
Yeah, well, you asked the question first why someone should be on Instagram, correct?
That's correct.
We're talking, yeah. I'm assuming we're talking about business owners, entrepreneurs, if you will, correct?
We're talking about, I think most of the people on this call are real estate agents, or there's a couple that are actually loan officers. Yeah.
Okay. So, to answer that question, why, and then I'll answer your other question as far as how I'm using it. But to answer that question, if you're really looking for a way to differentiate yourself from the, being the everyday regular agent, because agents are a commodity. I don't care what market you're in. Most people now, when the market's hot like it is, everybody has a license, right? So you have to figure, one, how am I going to stand out from everyone else? And if you look at these social media platforms, I don't care if you uncles, cousins, all age groups are on social media now, and it's just a way of life as it's evolved from where its infancy in, MySpace, when, that was kind of the first introduction, if you will. So this is a way for you to show people, how you live your life, how you run your business, your passions. People don't oftentimes just want to see that you sold a home. They want to see what the experiences are. That's why people are on social media, because they're sharing their experiences. They're communicating with other people. They're showing people, hey, this is what I do every day, or this is how I'm living my life, or these are the places that I'm going and I'm visiting. So I believe it's a great platform to really showcase who you are as a person, how you do your business, and, again, as I stated, the things that you're passionate about. So that's one reason why I would recommend using Instagram because one, you got now a minute as before it was 15 seconds for video, and you can share as much content as you like, and it's a way for you to start, building on here's who I am, here's how I run my business, and here's how you can connect with me. So that's one reason why I would recommend people being on there. As for me, is how I use it to showcase who I am, what I do day to day in my life, how I run my business, the people that I'm engaged with. For me playing sports, I spent a lot of time on the basketball court in gyms, networking during the summers. When I say networking, when we play basketball in the summers, that was my chance to meet a lot of different people. I played with a lot of different pros. So when I got into business, I was like, why am I chasing people when I have great relationships with folks? People that over decades I've built through playing ball or going out and meeting people. So I started tapping into those resources. And what I do is I show people, hey, here's how I'm living my life. Here are the people that I'm connected with. Here's how I'm actually helping people. Or, here's what I do in my day-to-day activities. I spend a lot of time at the beach with my family in the summers, or I'm touring properties, or I'm telling stories about a particular area in the city where I live or that I like to visit, or restaurants that I go. So that's how I use Instagram right now to drive leads and traffic to whether it's a website or to a video, or just for people to be able to connect with me.
Got it. So what is the and I don't know this. What is the and maybe you don't either. What is the age demographic for Instagram? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I would say on there it's probably people between the ages of probably like 15 up to probably like maybe 45, around there, 45.
Okay. All right. And so you're talking millennials. You're talking the first-time home buyers, second-time home buyers, second home buyers, stuff like that.
Correct. And I'm starting to see more of the, baby boomers, if you will, from time to time, especially in real estate, really starting to adapt. And those that are adapting to it, I think they're making a great decision. And those that aren't, as we go forward in time, I think they're going to definitely see a huge difference in how they're doing business. But yeah, demographically, you're mostly, millennials and gens.
Excellent. So, and it looks like the male-female is about the same as well. Like it's pretty much 50-50 right down.
Oh, yeah.
Right
Yeah,
down the road.
yeah, it's pretty much 50-50. And I think from what I see, I do see oftentimes more women that dominate a lot of feeds, as far as creativity and, how they share, their lives and, their passion. So, I in some ways I would agree with that, but in other ways, what I see every day, I think I see a lot more women dominating Instagram.
Yeah, and well, I guess we got to go right to that point. Is that they're the decision makers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, happy wife, happy life, right? So, cool. All right, cool. So, what other if I didn't have so let me ask you this: if I didn't have an Instagram account or haven't been playing on Instagram, would you recommend somebody starting or delegating that out, or do you use it kind of like Facebook? Because Facebook's kind of like a more of a chat, post pics, here's where I'm at, check-in type thing. How is Instagram different than Facebook?
Oh, well, Instagram is alive. It's moving. It's organic. Facebook is more or less, that's like imagine having a museum where you can only, if your friends that are only invited can actually see what's inside of that museum. So that means if I don't friend request you, I cannot see what's going on your feed.
Okay.
Now, I can come across your photos or your content on Instagram. I don't have to be connected to you. Now, I can follow you if I choose to, but I can see your content, especially if you're using hashtags and geotags. Geotags are geographically where you are physically located. iPhones track where you are. Pretty much all of these devices track where we go throughout the day. So the difference is that Instagram is like a moving wheel. It's constantly moving, whereas Facebook, you have to put content there and then you have to push it out to people. People have to share it that are friends with you, or you have to pay to play, if you will, like your Facebook, ads. So as far as Instagram, it's more organic, just like Twitter is. When you push out tweets, people can see those tweets. When you push out a post on Instagram, that audience. your followers are going to see it, and not only your followers are going to see it, but everyone else out there, and let's say you're in the city of San Diego, they have the ability to see that photo or that video that you post.
So from what you just said, it's more of a personal connection than it, like, because I mean, and let me just explain what Rod is talking about here. So Facebook, and Rod, you probably know this better than I do, but a long time ago, Facebook said, why are we letting everybody see everybody's feeds? We can't make
Correct.
any money that way.
Exactly.
So Facebook said, well, we're going to limit it. But I don't even know the percentage. 10 to 13% of the people that you're friends with will even ever see your post, right?
That's right.
And so, so for when you post something and you have 1,000 friends, that doesn't mean that 1,000 people are going to see your post. So what Rod is saying is, if you have a follower, and I guess what you're saying, Rod, is friend every single person you ever talk to. So more than likely, they're going to follow you back if they have an Instagram account.
Correct.
So if you post, the likelihood of them seeing it is much, much higher than it is in Facebook.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's much higher, and not only that, I mean, it's only either a 15-second video, or now it's a minute video, or it is a photo, that usually with photos people will engage in, or videos, when they see these on the news feed. So yeah, you have a higher, there's a higher rate to where you can have more people engaging with you than what you ever have on Facebook.
Okay, that's cool. So talk to us about, like, Nicole has a good question coming in. Are you big into tagging stuff? Like, she said,
yeah, I'm big.
You're going to something to tag on Instagram or something like that?
Yeah, I'm big into the geotags on Instagram. Geotags are definitely a must if you're using Instagram, and that just, some people give, problems like, I don't want to tell people where I am, but in this business, what we do, I mean, the reason why you want to do it is because you can connect to more people. It's like leaving breadcrumb trails. So if I'm in San Diego and I'm down in, downtown on the San Diego waterfront, and I just took this awesome photo and I want to share it, well, I can share it, and, there are going to be people that are going to see it, obviously, as we just discussed. But if I put in that geotag in that location, everyone in that area, in that location that is posted on that geotag will see your photo. And the other thing I do is when I post and use a geotag, I go and like all the top posts. And then I go down below the top post and I like as many photos as I can on that tag. And what happens is that causes people to come back to your page, either, decide on whether they want to follow you or not, but that allows you to pick up followers freely at no cost. And it takes minimal time to do that.
So explain one of those. What does one of those look like? I don't know if you see my screen, but I'm gonna go back one, and I'm gonna just put in an example. Like, say you were at a park, and you took a picture of a cool, I don't know, there's a beautiful swan sitting in the water, and you want to take a picture of a swan in this beautiful park by this house that you're getting ready to, like, show or whatever. How would you? What would the geotag look like?
Okay, so your geotag is going to be right up underneath your name in the top left there, where your handle is. Does that make sense? And so on that geotag, when you go in and you put your post, it's going to say tag. So when you click the decision to tag, it'll bring up your location and where you are. You have to select one.
Got it.
Now, when you select one of those, that's going to be where you are physically located. It'll bring up multiple. So, I might be downtown on Harbor Drive, but then it may show San Diego waterfront. It may show Little Italy. So I have to pick the geotag where I'm physically located at that point, or where I want the photo to be seen, if that makes sense. So at that point, once you select that tag, you can then go in and tag other people. Like, for instance, if you have people with you, that's a great way to also, like, if you look at it from this perspective, when you tag them, it's almost like they're sharing your content. So they're going to see it, and at that point, whoever is on their page, when they respond and make comments, they're going to see it as well. So you tag those individuals that are with you, and then when you post it, after that, you're going to go back into that geotag and then start liking all the photos. And see, what happens is, as you start to gain momentum with geotags, like what I've been able to do is all my photos will show up in the top post. So let's just say you have a geotag like I use a geotag like San Diego waterfront. Well, if you go there, I have a couple of photos that are going to be in the top post, right? And so by building up that momentum, let's just say that San Diego waterfront has 15,000 posts that are posted on there daily. Well, each time you make that post and it's there, every time someone comes to that page, they're going to see your photo. And so if it's engaging or if it's a video that's engaging, you're going to pick up followers that way too as well. So those are some of the tips that I can offer if people are looking to grow their followers and, and start being able to engage with other people.
Yeah, so like it's real important. So don't just post a pic. Start spending a couple extra seconds because it's all there for you. You just have to click another button. Kind of like on Facebook, if you're checking in, is it kind of the same as I'm checking into a restaurant or wherever I'm at? Would you?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a similar concept. It's kind of like checking in, but again, you're geographically tagging where you are and letting people know what you're doing and who you're with and what your experience is. And that also is allowing everyone else to be able to see you and, connect with you that way too as well. So if you're looking as an agent, if you're looking to dominate a farm or a community that you are actually selling in, start geotagging each time you take photos. If you go out to a property, you may do a video and you walk through the property and it may only be a minute, but you may be telling important information, details about this property, even some of the cons about the property as well as the pros. And then you start geotagging and leaving these videos or even photos, what happens is people are going to start looking at you as that local expert. You can generate leads this way, and I've been able to do the same. It takes time, but if you're consistently making one post a day or two at a minimum, you're going to start building content really fast.
Yeah. And it's just a matter of taking time and doing it, right? I mean, that's really what I'm getting out of this. Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those things you can, a person can set aside. For me, it's a way of life. But for those that say I don't have time, I would recommend, if this is something you're really trying to break into, spend 15, 20 minutes a day with your strategies on. You can go take photos, you can go get your videos, and then you can post them at a later date. They don't have to be that day. No one knows that you weren't there at that particular time and date. So keep that in mind and don't stress about that. But build up content, and then, you may say, all right, I just took 5 great photos. I have 5 videos here that I just recorded this week. Then you select the ones that you want to post, create your story, your content as far as your message, and then use your geotags, tag anyone else that's with you or a location, and then you post it, and then you go in and like the other photos, make comments on other photos. And like I said, you can do two posts a day or one a day if 2 is too much, and that takes maybe 15 minutes at the most, 20 to do this.
Do you do you geocode a listing that you get or anything like that, or do you get that specific?
Yeah, you can geotag a listing. Absolutely, you can definitely geotag a listing, and you can even make comments and tell a story about that property after you've geotag and post it. So yeah, definitely.
Very cool, dude. So they went from on video, they went from 15 seconds, like what is that, right? To they probably tried to do the Instagram thing, but now you get a minute-long video on Instagram. Are you doing any video on Instagram?
Oh yeah. I do a lot of video. I don't do a ton on Instagram because I space it out. So like at least I try to drop one a week video, and I use a lot more photos and images. But we have a reality show that's out right now, so I use content from the reality show that I'll post on my page. One to drive people, to our YouTube videos, and then also to remind people to watch the show on Sundays at 12 p.m. is when the show airs. So yes, video now having a minute is great because the 15 seconds I was having a hard time when I'm pretty sure other people are. So having a minute is gold right now. So definitely, if you are into video, use it and stay consistent with it.
There you go. All right, cool. All right, so moving on here. So is there any questions on Instagram? So really what it boils down to is going onto Instagram, taking a picture and just clicking the buttons within the picture to know that you're doing it right. And it's just like Facebook. It's just spending the time with it. So, and guys, we share a lot of different strategies. We share, everybody has different success with different things. Rod, wouldn't you agree that it's just if whatever you're going to choose, be persistent, consistent with it, and continue on a daily. Like it's just like anything else. The guy with the biggest, the team or the real estate agent with the biggest database wins, right? I mean, if you
Yeah,
engage and interact with your database, you're going to win.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you just said it, CP, consistent, persistent. Be consistent, be persistent, and also be patient. CPP. you know, uh,
Right.
and
I love
and
it. I love it.
and you also want to really think about what's your message. What do you want people to know about you? What are you trying to convey? And don't be afraid to be yourself. Within all of that, you don't have to try and be like the next agent. Of course, there's always good ideas and things that you can get from others. But I think what people want to see is transparency. They want to see your passion about what you do. And like I said, if you sell in a particular community, dominate that community with your photos and your video. And also let people see your lifestyle. So yeah, just be consistent and persistent with it, and
Consistent.
patient.
That's the name of the game, man. Yeah, and it's all right, cool. So let me ask you this. I got up on the screen. So how long did it take you to get to like when if you're somebody just starting out, brand new in the real estate industry, give some expectations if they really what it's about is building a database and going after your sphere of influence. But what would you say to the listeners that are struggling a little bit, or maybe a little tired or frustrated, or can't seem to get off the ground? Any advice for somebody like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been there, and it happens to the best of us. Even in business, if you've been in it a while, you can hit dry spots, or get in a funk. What I would say is just kind of check your attitude and your perspective on things. If something's not working, step back, evaluate it, evaluate why it's not working, and move on. Don't get hung up on hey, I made 20 calls today and I didn't get anything. You focus on the fact that you made the calls and move on to the next task. Also, connect with other people that are willing to share their time, share their expertise, maybe mentorship, where you're spending an hour a week or with someone that you look at it and say that, hey, I would love to get my business to that level. I would love to implement these strategies. So I think a lot of it is, your perspective and also your attitude. And if you're in a tight spot and you're faced with challenges, just kind of step back, know that everything is going to be okay. And in going forward, like I said, connect with other people out there. There are a lot of great people that I've been able to connect with on social media, and I've gotten ideas from, or I've had roadblocks and had conversations with other agents that are out there killing it. And they share just one simple thing that I could tweak in how maybe I'm communicating, whether it's on my calls or how I'm communicating when I'm in front of a seller. Reach out to other people and have that dialogue. And social media creates that. People want to connect. People will respond to you. So focus your attention not on, oh, I'm not selling any homes, but more so on what can I do to make these changes so I can get over this hump or get past this wall, and stay positive. At the end of the day, just keep a positive mindset, because this is a tough business. You can get down very quickly in this business, and just understand that what you're doing today will determine how your tomorrow is going to look. So, I always have to remind myself, if I'm not putting the time in, my bank account's not going to reflect that. And oftentimes you can be putting the time in. You can be putting the time in, but sometimes, it takes time to see those results. In this business, oftentimes we don't get paid till 60, 45, 60 days later, or sometimes 90, depending on the level of work and time you're putting in. So you also just have to have, thick skin, know that you're going to get rejection, know that you're going to oftentimes face adversity in this business, and it just comes with the territory. So don't take it personal. Just all I can say is, if you really, really want to do this, don't give up. Find a way. Connect with people is the best way.
Dude, I couldn't have said it better myself. I think, thick skin is a real tough one, and overcoming objection is, you're going to get told no. I look at it as a game. I look at it as, if I get told no, I'm one closer to a yes. And so,
and one other thing I'll say for those newbies, and this is the last thing, you don't have to follow the old model in this business. Ask yourself this question, what is your passions? What do you enjoy? And try to incorporate those things into your business. And yes, they can be done. And here's what I mean by that. I was an athlete. I had a lot of great relationships with other athletes, professionals, people that I had known from playing basketball and football over the years. I enjoy photography. I enjoy media. Okay, so I figured out how I can incorporate those things. I have a radio show on ESPN. Now I have a reality show. Now I incorporate events. You know, one of the best things I think that changed for me is I started hosting events on a regular basis and inviting out people that I was either A, working to build a relationship with, or B, have a relationship and working to improve and better that or deepen that relationship with them. So I would host an event and invite those individuals out so I could get to know them better over, you know, a drink and food, and also allow them to network and connect with other people too within our circle. So I think if you start thinking about how you can stand out on, you know, and show people, hey, you have to give people a reason why they should do business with you, not just because you're an agent and you're great and you're ethical and you're going to do really good work and work hard. Every agent says that. So you have to figure out what your message is, and then you got to then work on executing on getting that out there where people know about it and they're going to root for you, they're going to cheer for you. And one of the great ways to do that is through events, charity events, and networking.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Congratulations on all the new things you got going. I can't wait to do this interview again in 12 months to see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to pay a lot of money to get you on this call again or something. So I hope so, man. I wish you nothing but the success. Real quick. Yeah, all right. I appreciate that, brother. Hey, so I pulled up a picture of my Instagram account, and I took a picture, one of my pictures, and I wanted to show you guys. You guys says, what is the geocode? So right here where it says add location, if you click on add location, no matter where you're at, it's going to pull up a million different places, and you can actually probably search a location even if you're not there. If you were there, that's where you took the picture, you could probably pull that up and go, that's where I was at. You can, when he talks about geocoding, this is the button he's talking about where it says add location. He talked about Rod talked about tag people. Here's the tag button. So you would open this up and you would type in a person. And now, Rod, let me ask you this: if they're not following you or you're not following them, can you still add the people?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you want to, I mean, you can't add them unless yes, you can go look them up and see what their handle is, and then you can tag them. And, you know, oftentimes they may end up following you, but I always say it's better to like them first and then go tag them. So that way you sent the friend request to follow them or just a following request, and then use their handle and tag them.
Yeah. So and you might, like, I mean, just a suggestion of what he said, go friend or follow them first.
Yeah.
Probably 99% of the time they follow you back. I mean, that's everybody wants friends, right?
Oh, yeah. Usually 90% or more, you know, they're going to follow you back. And then you can also, you know, direct message them now, which is another great thing that wasn't an option on Instagram, which you can direct message, share photos, and repost other people's photos. So if you have to have the repost app that you can download, but if there's individuals or business owners, and that's the other thing I didn't bring up, you know, for you young individuals, a lot of you know, or people that are just new in the business, you spend a lot of time in your community if you really step back and think about it, in grocery stores, in restaurants, in other local businesses that are your favorites. Start building relationships with those business owners. Start figuring out how you can help those people grow their business. You know, start tagging those people in photos, because guess what? If they have a very successful business or operation, a lot of people come to their Instagram pages if they have an account. If they don't, offer to help them set up one, you know, and show them how they can start building business that way. If you start helping other people and really focusing on that, you're going to start seeing the big results in, one, how you feel as you go about your day, and two, you'll be able to connect with more people, and people will really see, you know, this is who this person is. They really are out to help, and they'll refer you business.
Yeah, dude. I mean, no wonder you're going to do. I mean, you're doing good already, and you're going to do so much better. You just have the right mindset about helping other people. You know, we always talk about others first. Talk to me about this direct button. Like I see, and I got it on the screen right now. It says followers, and then it says direct. Well, is that sending a photo directly to a person, so it's not public, or how does that?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're posting directly and you want a particular, you know, like I just said, if it was a business or, you know, or individual, you can post directly to them.
Okay. Way cool. And it looks like it's unlimited who you can, like, you could tag a whole group of people if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can tag as many people that are, you know, that you're following or that are following you, and put it directly in front of them. So let's just say, for instance, on the direct post, you wanted to just have all your, it's kind of like just having everyone in your group or that are following you to see that post, and that's it. It's not it's not public. Does that make sense?
Public. Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Awesome, man. Awesome. Love it. All right, let's go to, for time's sake here, let's get to the next one. All right, so what advice to give somebody, and you kind of did that already, man. I really appreciate you doing that. So somebody that's brand new, okay, disregard Instagram for a second. You're brand new
Hmm.
in the business, maybe 2, 3 months, 6 months, whatever. What do you do first?
Whew. So if you're
And you
brand new in
kind
the
of talked
business,
about it.
I,
Yeah, you kind
I
of
would
talked about
say
it.
I would say really formulate your plan. I think oftentimes it's exciting. You get your license. It's like, wow, I'm about to start selling real estate, making a lot of money. But then it's like, well, how am I going to do that? Um,
Right.
I would say sit down, go through and develop a business plan, a strategy, and when you create that plan, prepare for, unexpected things, put a budget in place on what you're going to, invest in marketing yourself, and if when you get your first deal, I say put 20 to 30% of it right back into your marketing. And that might be painful, but at the end of the day, you're gonna build on that and generate more business. So one, come up with a plan on how you're going to execute, standing out, being different from the masses. And two, start connecting with individuals that are actually having the level of success that you aspire to be able to do one day. And start, taking those people out to coffee, pick their brains, ask them questions in regards to, how they've reached a level of success. And, one thing I remember, if people have listened to Ty Lopez, that's a great course to invest in. It's called 67 Steps. And that course can really help you rewire your mind and way of thinking and get prepared to deal with the objections that you're going to face in this business and to the point where you don't take those things personal. So invest in your knowledge is what I'm saying, and whether that be through mentorship, meeting with people one-on-one, or investing other training and courses. And, I share that Ty Lopez because it's outside of the box, but it's really more psychological on how to actually prepare and improve you as a person, because that's what it's going to take, if you're going to have a certain level of success in this business, to really have a business mind frame and focus on the long term. Meaning, if you're going to get in real estate, it should be to build a successful business and then move on to do other things that you're really passionate about. So I would just say, A, strategy, work on a strategy, business plan, and then, B, start investing in your knowledge through mentorship or other trainings and courses that you find of interest that can help you get to the level you're trying to get to.
And someone did ask, do you have a coach?
I do. I have a coach, not someone that I actually, I'm not paying, but I actually will have. I do what's called Blabs. I use a platform called Blab, and
I've heard of.
we get on weekly, and sometimes it's not every week. I may talk to him once, or sometimes 3 times a month. But more or less, it's not coaching on, Rod, you need to go do these things as far as real estate related. It's more me working on myself as a person. And then also organizations, we talk about, execution of strategies that I have put into place. So yeah, I do have a coach that I actually speak with.
Excellent. And Blabs is a platform, it's BLABS, right?
Yes,
Or
it
no,
is.
BLAB dot
It's BLAB.IM.
.im, yeah. So I'm going to put that on the screen. So not that you have to do this, but this is where Rod goes to hang out with like-minded professionals. So it's BLAB.im, just so you guys know.
Correct.
You didn't catch that. So appreciate that, brother. I
Right.
did hear about that. I think I heard about that from you. So I've been checking
Yeah.
that out. Very cool, very cool. Resources. So what are a couple resources that you would share, one or two resources that you would share that somebody could use? I get a lot of questions about CRM systems.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not saying that's one of them, but do you have a resource that you could?
Yeah, I recommend BombBomb is a great platform. It's a CRM that allows you to
Love
use
Bomb. Yes.
BombBomb. Yeah, it allows you to use video to engage with your email campaigns when you're responding to buyers or sellers. Plus, not only that, it allows you to track who's actually opening your emails, who's reading your content. It actually keeps a score on each person that's in that database. So if, Scott, you open up my emails regularly, you're going to build up points, and it's going to show us, as you know, if you use BombBomb, it shows a happy face, or it shows it's like a smiley face, but they actually start out looking angry. And as time goes and they open more of your emails, they change from from like I want to say orange color to like a yellow, and then they turn green. but they're build up points. And those individuals, as they start to build up points, keep in mind that's your fan base. Those are people that are engaging in your content. So what you're going to want to do is, if you use BombBomb, separate those people out into another group. You can name them as whatever, high group, engage group, whatever name you want to name it. But then you can start turning up your marketing to those individuals because they're actually reading your content on a regular basis. And then slowly weed other people out that aren't responding or asking to be, unsubscribed. So BombBomb is a great one because you can track everything, and then you can set all your content up, and you can actually set it on a schedule to actually go out on a specific date and time. So if you have newsletters, if you have, property alert updates, you can put all these things in BombBomb, set them up for 6 months or a year out, and they're going to go out when you set them to.
Dude, that was probably my first one too, if I had to pick one. So nice, great minds think alike, I guess. The BombBomb is, yeah. I've had BombBomb for I don't know how long. It's got a great Chrome extension for if you use Gmail for your emails. It's got a
Correct.
great, I don't know if you use that one, but it's just still, I don't type emails anymore. I send videos. I send video responses. So,
yeah.
Unless it's a quick one, but if it's going to be a lengthy response, I'd click the old video button and just talk and throw it back at them. So it's pretty cool. Next 12 months.
It integrates with a lot of other platforms very easily too. So I highly recommend it because it's really inexpensive, $50 a month. You can go in and you can manage your database, and like I said, with video, which is great, you can engage with them with video, and you can upload YouTube videos or any videos that you record from your desktop or mobile device. It even has an app, so that app in real time you can see who's opening your emails and engage with them right there on the spot. You can shoot a video of a property or whatever it is that you want to send a message out to a client or clients. You can shoot a video right then and there on the spot through the app and send it out to them in real time. So I highly recommend BombBomb. Inexpensive, great way to set up, your CRM and get your contacts. You can export contacts in from other systems like, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever else you have, your leads. You can upload those people into BombBomb and put them in specific groups and start, marketing to them.
Yeah, so it's a couple people are asking. It's BOMB.com. So it's bomb twice, BombBomb.
That's right. BombBomb.
Yep. And then Blab is blab.im. So just a couple people are asking that. So, all right, man. As we wrap things up, what would you? And again, some of these are repetitive questions, but I always get good little nuggets when I ask kind of the same but different questions. What would you say our listeners do the next 30 days, 90 days, and 1 year? What do you do on a monthly basis, every quarter, every year? Like, what would you recommend somebody do? And again, you said put a plan together, have a business plan, and implement the plan. Anything you want to add to that? Because that was a great response.
Yeah, well, I would say one, make sure you're enjoying your life. Work is one thing. Pursuing a career is all great and building a business, but make sure you're actually living in between those times. Do things that you're passionate about. Spend time with family. Make time for those things. Block those things out because balance is important. And oftentimes, it's not going to be perfect, but I would say within that 30, 90 days, be sure to schedule time to do things that you enjoy. Don't overlook how important it is, because keep in mind, we're all humans. And so it's necessary that we have a certain level of connection with our family and friends and do the things that we enjoy. The other thing I'll say over the next 30, 90, 60 days or a year is to, constantly just be reevaluating your plan. You may oftentimes have to make adjustments. It's like, I think about sports, in games in basketball, if you play sports, football, basketball, whatever it is, sometimes the game plan isn't going the way you prepared for, and you have to make adjustments. So, rather than fighting against those challenges or issues, make the adjustments and keep moving forward. But ultimately, I would say stay connected through the social media platforms. Keep building on it, even if it may not seem like you're getting immediate results, because what you guys see today, I started doing this in 2012. So where are we now? We're in 2016. So that's almost 4 years. Now, the benefit for people that are coming into these social platforms now is that I got on Instagram when it was new. Now it's been around for over almost 4 years. So stay engaged and post content daily, because that's what's going to differentiate you from your competition as more people move. Because right now, everyone's still behind. People are still trying to monetize Facebook, all right? So at the end of the day, this is just the infancy of social media. And there are going to be other programs that are going to come on, like get on Snapchat. Snapchat is another great platform that you can be using every day as you go throughout your day. But stay engaged on these platforms, keep building up momentum, keep putting out content, great content, and also invest in yourselves. If I don't say anything else, and if you don't hear anything other than this, invest in yourself. Put your money back into your business. Go to conferences, buy courses, read books, invest. Keep doubling down on you until you get to the level that you want to be at. And even when you get to that level, keep pushing. And that's the best advice I can give.
Dude, that's the best advice I could have asked for. So appreciate the answer. I have nothing to add to it. So where can our listeners find out more about you? Like, how do we find out more about Rod Watson? How do we, if you want to give me your handle up here, I'm more than happy to put it up here on the screen for you.
My Instagram handle is RodWatson23. Please connect, follow me there. RodWatson23 is my Instagram handle. It's also my Twitter handle.
Okay.
And it's also my Snapchat handle. When I lost my train of thought, it's also my Snapchat handle. So you can follow me on those platforms, and on Facebook, I'm just Rod Watson. Connect with me on any of those platforms that you use, or if you want to connect with me on all three, that's great, because I'm putting out content on all of those platforms daily. And if you ever have any questions, you got questions about Instagram or about where you are in business, or listen, I'm in the trenches just like you guys are. I face adversity every day in business. I'm having one of my toughest years, not because of what I'm doing business-wise. It's just I'm moving up to another level. And when you're making those transitions, the advice that I'm giving you guys, I'm taking that same advice every day. So I'm out here fighting just like you are. So those of you that got questions, or you want to just connect and see what I'm doing day to day, follow me on those platforms.
Hey, man, I got a personal question, dude, because I'm a freak about the number 23. So what is the 23 to you? What does that mean to you?
Well, 23 to me is, if you go to my page, I grew up playing basketball. Michael Jordan was my idol.
I knew you were going to say that, man. I knew you were going to say that.
Remember, I told you guys, my number in high school and college was 13, but I knew 13 doesn't strike anything with people. It's just to me. Right, and that's the thing, as I was sharing before. Oh, and I'll leave you guys before I finish about a book you need to read. But I chose the number 23 because Michael was he was my idol growing up. And I had Michael Jordan posters all over. You couldn't even see the paint on my walls in my room. I mean, it was a collage of all of his, his posters, his expressions. So that's why I chose 23, because it's easy to remember and it stands out.
Got it. All right. And then that book.
I'll leave you guys. Yeah, a book I recommend. You want to talk about differentiating yourself and standing out. It's on Facebook, and you can look it up. It's called Defeat Mega Agents, and it's 14 sources of domination. It's written by Ryan Fletcher. If you go on Facebook and put in Ryan Fletcher, he's giving this book away for free. It's only $5 for shipping. But I highly recommend you go read it. A lot of these things I was already implementing in my business, but I wanted to read up, and I saw, some of his notes that he had on Facebook about the book, and I just felt like this is where I am in life, and I highly recommend other agents read it, because it's going to give you some great ideas and also analogies on how you can start differentiating yourself today from those mega agents. And what I mean by mega agents, if you're like me, when I started out, I didn't have a $50,000 a year budget, or even a $20,000 or $5,000 a year budget. So I had to find creative ways to go out and stand out in my marketplace. And this book is a great read, and I recommend investing in it. It's only $5.
Excellent. So I went Agent Marketing Syndicate, author of Defeat Mega Agents, is shipping thousands of free copies. So if you go into your search bar on Facebook, Defeat Mega Agents, search that, click on whatever comes up, and it looks like it's right here. Top generous. So looks like if it takes me here, Agent Marketing Syndicate. That looks like you can get it right here. Defeat Mega Agents right here. Get free book now.
Yep.
So yeah.
And that's when one other book I'll say is Ask Gary V. That's for those of you that are really new to the social media platforms. Follow Gary V. He drops not just motivational, but great content to help you get through the process of learning how to use social media. So I would say definitely go get his book as well, because it's a great read. And I'm actually reading through both of these books right now.
Yeah, Gary Vee. Yeah, I watch every video he puts out. He's such a visionary man. I don't know if you knew this about Gary, but he backed out of Uber. He was in Uber heavy, and he backed out. And he said he could have probably bought the jets if he would have stayed in. So
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
amazing stat.
yeah. I saw that, and he's a great dude. And he's very wise in his ways, and I love all the content and the motive and just the movement that he's having. And that's the thing now. So much is changing that I think if people really start focusing on the giving side of things, we're going to see a huge, change in the future going forward. And he's starting to set that trend. So I just recommend getting those two books. There are a lot of other great books to read, but for right now on a personal level, for me, I recommend those two because they correlate to what we're talking about today.
Absolutely. Rod, man, I can't thank you enough, brother, for taking time out of your day. I can't wait to follow you. I'm going to follow you on all your things, and it's just a pleasure.
Yeah.
Hope to meet you someday soon. If I come to California, we'll go up and do lunch or something. And sincerely appreciate
anytime.
you giving your words of wisdom, man. It means a lot, and a lot of stuff. I don't know. I got chills when you said family, and it's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's what we do. And so first and foremost, cherish your family, spend time with your family, and I appreciate you, brother. Anything I can do for you, man, you let me know, okay?
Yeah, well, you've done a lot, and I appreciate it. All the listeners, I wish you guys well and much success, and connect with me, and I look forward to connecting with you guys, and thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks so much. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you same time, same place next week on Agent Mastermind. And for now, be safe, spend time with family, and have a great, amazing weekend coming up. See you next week, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care, brother.